There are plenty of good games on this Notre Dame schedule. I'm looking at Clemson there towards the end. Could Clemson be putting together another great season? I know that they've got a new OC, they've got a new quarterback, but that at the end of the day could be that make or break game, right?
And Clemson fans probably feel like they upgraded at both. Like not to knock DJU, not to knock Brandon Streeter, but like they probably feel like they're now going to be in a place where, okay, now the offense will really get to humming. And I think DJU made a lot of strides last year. Like I'm actually probably a little bit higher on DJU than maybe Joe Public is. But with how explosive they could be offensively, with this new set of coordinator and quarterback, I think they probably feel a little bit better about that. But no, that'll be a huge matchup. And I mean, you're talking about elimination games. Looking here at Clemson's schedule, like they're going to play Florida State, they're going to play South Carolina after they play Notre Dame. So I mean, that if you're Clemson, you can't afford to slip up at some point. I mean, I guess we're still figuring out the dates of these games, but I mean that's going to be a game in November where you better bring it because you got South Carolina waiting for you there at the very end of the year, and you better not have an extra loss on the schedule.
So sticking with this, I want to kind of transition out of this. So with Clemson, I feel like there's getting a lot of people looking at them like maybe Dabo's lost it. I know I've kind of looked at it. I feel like he doesn't really enjoy recruiting the way some coaches do per se, but you bring over Garrett Riley, you bring Jeff Scott back on, which I think is going to be a valuable asset to pair with Riley because he knows Dabo in and out, so he can help Riley along with that. But is this a season where you can't like I feel like Florida State is there for the taking. Like this is their only chance because as Clemson is starting to rise, and what does this do? How long is it going to be before we see Clemson be Clemson again?
Yeah, it's a good question. I think you place your bet on Cade Klubnik, right? Like that's the quarterback that, okay, you had one 5-star quarterback and you could say that you didn't get what you thought you would. To me, I look at the receiver room. Like I think they need some more guys like that freshman Antonio Williams who can stretch the field because I don't see that like dynamic playmaker that they've had of recent history. And one thing I'm also going to keep an eye on is this post-spring portal wave that's going to happen, like the May 1st through 15th, where is Dabo Swinney going to maybe bend a little bit and go in and get maybe one or two guys that could help him? I'd be a little bit surprised if that were the case, but we've seen him variate a little bit from his principles, if that makes sense. Like he hired 2 internal hires and felt really good about that and defended them. And then we saw him eventually go and hire somebody else. Do we see the same sort of trend as we get into this portal cycle? But no, I absolutely agree. I think this is the year where you have the quarterback, you got the flashy OC, like, okay, let's do something now because Florida State's going to be a force. Who knows how long Miami stays down under Cristobal. Like there's some teams now that are starting to crowd the ACC. So I think Clemson's got to stake their claim.
Yeah, I absolutely agree.